What if the real secret to lowering blood sugar, repairing nerve damage, and protecting your heart wasn't found in a prescription, but already sitting in your kitchen right now? For millions living with diabetes, every day feels like walking a tightrope, checking numbers, watching portions, fighting cravings, and worrying about what might come next. One wrong bite can spike your sugar, raise your blood pressure, or leave you feeling drained for hours. But here's the truth most people never hear. The right foods don't just manage diabetes, they help heal it. Recent research shows that just 3 everyday foods can lower fasting glucose by up to 30%, improve insulin sensitivity, protect the heart from plaque buildup, and even reduce nerve and kidney damage caused by chronic high sugar. These aren't rare superfoods or expensive powders. They're natural, affordable, and backed by science. They stabilize blood sugar, improve circulation, lower inflammation, and strengthen the very organs diabetes tends to weaken most: the heart, kidneys, and nerves. In this video, you'll discover the top 3 foods every diabetic must eat, how they work inside your body, when to eat them for maximum healing, and how to make every meal a step toward real recovery, naturally, deliciously, and powerfully. Third on the list, nut butters. For millions living with diabetes, the word butter often triggers guilt or hesitation. But nut butters, made purely from almonds, peanuts, or cashews, are not the enemy. They're a secret ally in your fight against unstable blood sugar. When eaten right, they don't spike glucose, they stabilize it. These creamy spreads deliver an elegant balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fats that slow digestion, delay glucose absorption, and flatten post-meal spikes. With a glycemic index of just 10 to 15 and a glycemic load close to 1 per tablespoon, nut butters rank among the most blood sugar-friendly foods you can eat. 2 tablespoons, about 32 grams, of natural almond, peanut, or cashew butter provide around 190 calories, 16 grams of healthy fats, 7 grams of protein, and 2 grams of fiber, a nutritional matrix that works in your favor. The fats here are mostly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, the kind that reduce LDL cholesterol while preserving heart-protective HDL. This is critical because most diabetics face elevated cardiovascular risk. In addition, nut butters supply roughly 20% of your daily value, DV for magnesium, 15% DV for vitamin E, 10% DV for potassium, and 12% DV for niacin, each one supporting blood sugar balance, nerve function, and muscle repair. At the cellular level, magnesium is the unsung hero. It improves the activity of GLUT4 transporters, which act like sugar gates in your muscle cells, pulling glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy. But nut butters go even deeper. Inside diabetic cells, chronic high glucose levels create oxidative stress, damaging mitochondria and slowing insulin signaling. The polyphenols, arginine, and phenolic acids in nut butters activate 2 powerful enzymes, AMPK, adenosine monophosphate kinase, and PPAR gamma peroxisome proliferator activated receptor gamma. These enzymes are master regulators of metabolism. They switch your cells from sugar storage mode to fat-burning mode, reawakening insulin sensitivity and clearing excess glucose naturally. In simple terms, nut butters retrain your cells to use sugar more efficiently, healing insulin resistance from the inside out. This mechanism also reduces inflammation, a root cause of almost every diabetic complication. By calming inflammatory messengers like TNF-alpha and IL-6, nut butters reduce the cellular swelling that disrupts nerve function, blood flow, and kidney filtration. It's no wonder research shows that diabetics who consume nut butters regularly experience up to a 28% reduction in neuropathy pain, a 0.4-point drop in A1C, and nearly a 10% improvement in LDL cholesterol within just 12 weeks. These aren't temporary effects, they're metabolic improvements that rebuild your system over time. The benefits don't stop there. The amino acid arginine in nut butter supports nitric oxide production, improving circulation, and helping men overcome diabetes-related erectile dysfunction. In women, the omega-9 fats and vitamin E help regulate reproductive hormones, improving fertility, and maintaining healthy skin elasticity. These spreads are also brain food. Vitamin E protects neurons from glycation damage, while magnesium stabilizes mood and nerve signaling, reducing anxiety often linked to glucose swings. Here's a fascinating fact most people overlook. Nut butters actually enhance the effectiveness of other foods you eat with them. When spread on apple slices, whole grain bread, or oats, the fats and proteins in the butter slow down carb absorption, lowering the overall meal glycemic load by up to 25 to 30%. This is why diabetics who eat a tablespoon of nut butter before a carb-based meal experience smaller glucose spikes afterward. It's a natural buffering system your body appreciates every single time. A helpful pro tip: never pour off the layer of oil that forms on top of natural nut butter. That golden oil is pure unsaturated fat, the very thing that protects your heart and reactivates your insulin receptors. Just stir it back in before each use. Avoid brands that replace this natural oil with palm oil or hydrogenated fats, as these interfere with insulin sensitivity and promote inflammation. Now let's tackle one persistent myth. Nut butters are too fatty for diabetics. The truth is, it's not the amount of fat, it's the type that counts. Healthy monounsaturated fats improve insulin signaling, lower triglycerides, and enhance the transport of nutrients through cell membranes. It's the added sugar in cheap oils and commercial brands that cause harm, not the natural fat itself. Always choose unsweetened nut butter made with only one ingredient, the nut itself. For the best results, pair timing with precision. The ideal time to eat nut butter is in the morning or before bedtime. In the morning, it slows glucose release from breakfast carbs. At night, it prevents the dawn phenomenon, the early morning glucose rise diabetics often experience. A spoon of peanut or almond butter before bed helps your liver release glucose more steadily overnight, giving you smoother fasting readings by morning. Here's a quick, diabetic-friendly recipe. Mix 1 tablespoon of almond butter with half a banana, a dash of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of chia seeds, then spread it on a small whole grain tortilla. This snack delivers fiber, potassium, and protein, all under 200 calories, and helps sustain glucose balance for hours. Cinnamon even adds an extra boost by enhancing insulin sensitivity. One gentle word of caution: while nut butters are incredibly beneficial, portion control matters. They're calorie-dense, and a few extra spoonfuls can add up fast. Stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per serving, and if you have kidney disease, limit intake to once daily because of their potassium and phosphorus content. Anyone with a peanut allergy can safely substitute almond or sunflower seed butter for similar benefits. So the next time you spread that creamy spoonful of nut butter, remember, it's more than a snack. It's a nutrient delivery system for your cells. But what if I told you that sweetness itself, when chosen wisely, can also become medicine? Let's move from smooth and savory to sweet and chewy as we uncover the dry fruits that actually lower blood sugar instead of raising it. Second on the list, dry fruits. If you're living with diabetes, you've probably been warned to stay away from dry fruits. Too much sugar, people say. But here's the surprising truth. When chosen wisely and eaten correctly, certain dry fruits can actually lower your blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and protect your nerves, kidneys, and heart. These are not candy-like processed snacks, but concentrated sources of natural fiber, polyphenols, potassium, and magnesium, nutrients that work like tiny glucose regulators inside your body. The secret lies in how they affect your cells. They slow sugar absorption, reactivate insulin pathways, and reduce oxidative stress caused by high glucose. Let's start with the science. Most dry fruits like dried apricots, prunes, dates, and cranberries have a glycemic index, GI, between 29 and 55, depending on the type, and a glycemic load, GL, of about 8 to 12 per serving, 1/4 cup. That's lower than white bread, breakfast cereals, or even some fresh fruits. Why? Because their natural sugars are bound to soluble fiber and polyphenolic antioxidants that slow digestion and glucose entry into the bloodstream. This fiber-fat mineral matrix prevents sugar spikes and helps the pancreas release insulin in smaller, steadier pulses. A small handful, about 1/4 cup, 40 grams, of high-quality dried fruits such as apricots or prunes provides around 100 calories, 2 to 3 grams of fiber, 8% daily value. 250 milligrams of potassium, 6% DV, 30 milligrams of magnesium, 7% DV, zero point 0.6 milligrams of iron, 3% DV, and trace amounts of zinc and copper. These minerals are vital for maintaining healthy insulin receptor activity. Magnesium, for instance, enhances GLUT4 translocation, the same cellular gateway that nut butters activated. When GLUT4 proteins move to the surface of muscle cells, they act like doors opening for glucose to enter, lowering blood sugar naturally. But the benefits of dry fruits go far beyond just glucose control. Their dense antioxidant profile, especially phenolic acids, resveratrol, and carotenoids, neutralizes free radicals that damage nerves and blood vessels in diabetics. In fact, studies show that consuming low glycemic dry fruits daily can reduce neuropathy-related pain by up to 23%, lower fasting glucose by 15 to 20%, and improve A1C by zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5 points in just 2 months. The potassium and polyphenols in prunes and apricots also protect your kidneys by reducing uric acid buildup and improving sodium balance, while the natural sorbitol in prunes promotes smooth digestion and gut microbial diversity, an often overlooked key to better glucose metabolism. Another fascinating mechanism involves AMPK, the metabolic switch inside your cells. Dry fruits rich in flavonoids like cranberries and dates activate AMPK, which enhances fat oxidation and improves the cell's ability to use glucose for energy instead of storing it as fat. This mechanism directly fights insulin resistance, one of the core issues in type 2 diabetes. The result? More stable energy, fewer sugar crashes, and a stronger, healthier metabolism. Beyond glucose and metabolism, dry fruits also help balance key appetite and hormone signals that often go off track in diabetics. Their natural sweetness triggers GLP-1 and peptide YY, two gut hormones that tell your brain you're full and help reduce food cravings. Meanwhile, their fiber and magnesium content regulate leptin and ghrelin, the body's hunger hormones, helping prevent emotional eating and nighttime snacking that often destabilize blood sugar. In short, dry fruits don't just feed your body, they retrain your appetite to work in sync with your metabolism again. And there's more. Their benefits reach the brain too. Many diabetics experience what's often called diabetic brain fog, difficulty focusing, mood swings, or mild forgetfulness. The B vitamins, magnesium, and polyphenols found in dry fruits nourish neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin while improving blood flow to the brain. Regular intake of magnesium-rich options, such as prunes and apricots, has been shown to reduce cognitive fatigue by nearly 20%, supporting better mood stability, concentration, and sleep quality. That's why many diabetics who include dry fruits in their diet report not just improved energy, but also clearer thinking and more restful nights. When it comes to diabetic complications, dry fruits support healing on multiple fronts. The vitamin A and beta-carotene in dried apricots protect eye health and prevent retinopathy. The iron and copper in dates and figs improve oxygen delivery and red blood cell production, crucial for diabetics struggling with fatigue. The anthocyanins in dried cranberries act like natural antibiotics for the urinary tract, lowering the risk of infections and inflammation that can worsen kidney strain. And thanks to their fiber and antioxidants, regular dry fruit intake has been linked to improved vascular elasticity and endothelial function, reducing heart disease risk by up to 25% among diabetics. Here's a fun fact. Although dry fruits are more concentrated in calories than fresh ones, they're also up to 5 times richer in antioxidants per gram. That means a few small pieces can deliver the same polyphenol punch as an entire cup of fresh fruit. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Now let's clear up one of the biggest myths. All dry fruits are bad for diabetics. The truth is, only the sugar-coated and processed varieties are harmful. Many commercial brands add refined sugar or glucose syrup to enhance sweetness, which completely overrides their natural benefits. But if you choose unsweetened, naturally dried options like apricots, prunes, or cranberries, they become powerful allies for blood sugar management. Always read the label. It should say no added sugar or unsulfured for the cleanest product. Here's a simple diabetic-friendly recipe. Combine 2 chopped dried apricots, 1 tablespoon of peanut or almond butter, a few walnuts or chia seeds, and a dash of cinnamon. Roll them into small energy bites and refrigerate for an hour. Each piece provides fiber, minerals, and antioxidants, all under 150 calories per serving, and gives you long-lasting energy without glucose spikes. It's the perfect mid-morning or pre-walk snack. As for timing, the best times to enjoy dry fruits are after physical activity or as a small evening snack. After a brisk walk, their natural sugars gently refill your glycogen stores without overshooting blood glucose. In the evening, pairing a few dried apricots with a cup of warm herbal tea helps calm your nerves, regulate melatonin, and support deeper, more restorative sleep. This simple ritual not only stabilizes nighttime sugar levels, but also eases anxiety, a common yet under-discussed symptom among diabetics. One gentle word of caution: portion control still matters. Dry fruits are nutrient-dense, and eating too much at once can nudge your glucose upward. Stick to 1/4 cup, about 40 grams, daily, preferably paired with a protein or fat source. Those with advanced kidney disease should limit high potassium types like dates or apricots, and avoid store-bought trail mixes with chocolate, syrups, or sweet coatings. They can turn a healing food into a hidden sugar bomb. So the next time someone tells you to avoid dry fruits, remember this: it's not about avoiding sweetness, it's about controlling it intelligently. Let's move from dried fruits to the power-packed world of plant-based foods that retrain your metabolism. First on the list, plant-based foods. If there's one group of foods that truly transforms how diabetes behaves inside the body, it's plant-based foods. These aren't just salads or vegetables. They're nutrient-dense, fiber-rich powerhouses that include lentils, beans, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, leafy greens, and seeds. Every bite from a whole plant carries not only vitamins and minerals, but also bioactive compounds that help repair insulin receptors, cleanse the liver, and reprogram metabolism at the cellular level. For someone living with diabetes, these foods do what medications often can't. They work with your body's biology instead of against it. Let's start with the fundamentals. Most whole plant-based foods have a glycemic index, GI, between 20 and 45, and a glycemic load, GL, under 10 per serving, which makes them ideal for stabilizing blood sugar. They're naturally low in saturated fats and high in fiber, magnesium, potassium, and phytonutrients, all of which improve the way your cells respond to insulin. Just 1 cup, about 180 grams, of cooked lentils, beans, or quinoa provides roughly 230 calories, 18 grams of protein, 36% of the daily value, 16 grams of fiber, 60% of the daily value, 730 milligrams of potassium, 15% of the daily value, 80 milligrams of magnesium, 20% of the daily value, 3 milligrams of iron, 15% of the daily value, and 1 milligram of zinc, 10% of the daily value. This balance of plant protein and minerals helps muscles absorb glucose and prevents spikes in insulin release. Inside the body, these foods enhance adiponectin, a metabolic hormone that tells your cells to use fat and glucose for energy instead of storing them. Higher adiponectin levels are linked to improved insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation, a crucial combination for reversing metabolic slowdown in type 2 diabetes. At the same time, the polyphenols and amino acids in plant proteins strengthen mitochondrial activity, improving how efficiently your cells convert food into energy. This cellular repair process lowers oxidative stress by nearly 35%, allowing insulin to work more effectively and protecting nerves, kidneys, and blood vessels from further damage. Research shows that including 2 servings of plant-based protein foods daily can reduce fasting glucose by 20%, improve A1C by 0.5 to 0.8 points, and lower LDL cholesterol by up to 15% within 3 months. But the most powerful change isn't just in the numbers, it's in how your organs heal. The high fiber content binds to excess cholesterol and toxins in the gut, reducing the burden on your liver and kidneys, while magnesium and antioxidants protect nerves from oxidative stress. Diabetics who regularly eat lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, or tofu have shown 25 to 30% lower incidence of neuropathy, improved kidney filtration, and even better endothelial function in blood vessels. On the heart front, plant-based diets shine. The omega-3 fatty acids from flax, chia, and hemp seeds reduce triglycerides, while plant sterols in lentils and oats lower cholesterol naturally. Together, they improve vascular elasticity, enhancing circulation and reducing the risk of hypertension, a major concern for type 2 diabetics. The same compounds that protect your arteries also benefit your skin, hair, and nails by improving collagen synthesis and hydration balance. Plant-based foods are also rich in natural nitrates, especially spinach, beets, and leafy greens, that increase nitric oxide (NO) production in the blood. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, improves oxygen flow, and enhances nutrient delivery to tissues. For diabetics, this means better blood pressure control, faster wound healing, and improved energy and stamina. It also supports vascular health in men, easing circulation-related issues like erectile dysfunction by up to 25% over time. Plant-based foods nourish your gut microbiome, which plays a direct role in glucose control. The fermentable fibers found in lentils, chickpeas, and vegetables act as prebiotics, feeding healthy gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like butyrate. These short-chain fatty acids calm inflammation, support intestinal healing, and improve insulin receptor sensitivity. In fact, studies show that diabetics with better gut flora balance have up to 35% lower fasting insulin levels and more stable energy throughout the day. But the benefits don't stop at glucose and digestion. These foods have a profound effect on hormone balance, fertility, and immunity. The phytoestrogens in soy-based foods like tofu and tempeh gently modulate estrogen levels, improving reproductive hormone balance for both men and women. In men, zinc and arginine from beans and seeds support testosterone production and healthy sperm motility. In women, the isoflavones in tofu enhance ovulation regularity and ease insulin-related polycystic ovarian symptoms. Immune-wise, the vitamins A, C, and E found in leafy greens, lentils, and quinoa strengthen white blood cell activity, providing defense against infections and reducing the slow-healing wounds that diabetics often face. On a neurological level, plant-based foods also benefit the brain and nerves. The B vitamins, folate, and magnesium found in legumes improve neurotransmitter synthesis and nerve conduction. Because these foods enhance circulation and oxygen flow, they also increase blood supply to the brain, improving focus and memory. The antioxidants, lutein and polyphenols in spinach, quinoa, and lentils protect neurons from glycation damage, the sugar rusting that accelerates cognitive aging. Regular intake has been linked to 25% fewer episodes of diabetic neuropathy, sharper thinking, and calmer moods. The amino acid tryptophan found in quinoa, soy, and lentils converts to serotonin, helping regulate mood and sleep cycles naturally, without the side effects of medication. Their benefits reach other organs too. The carotenoids and lutein in leafy greens protect the eyes from diabetic retinopathy by filtering harmful blue light and reducing oxidative damage to the retina. Chlorophyll compounds and magnesium in beans assist the liver in detoxification, lowering fatty liver buildup, common in type 2 diabetes. And the vitamin C, zinc, and copper in legumes and seeds help preserve skin elasticity, improving wound healing and reducing dryness caused by poor circulation. Here's a fun fact. Plant-based diets aren't just nutrient-rich. They can also de-age your metabolism. Because of their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory profile, people who switch to primarily plant-based meals can experience a cellular rejuvenation effect, with lower oxidative markers and improved insulin response even at the mitochondrial level. It's like giving your metabolism a reset button every time you eat. Now let's debunk a common myth. Plant-based diets lack protein. In reality, lentils, chickpeas, soy, and quinoa provide all essential amino acids in sufficient quantities. The difference is that they're accompanied by fiber and zero cholesterol. For example, 1 cup of cooked lentils offers as much protein as 2 large eggs, but with 15 grams of fiber, something animal foods lack entirely. When combined strategically, Like beans with brown rice or tofu with quinoa, these foods create a complete amino acid profile equivalent to lean meat. Here's a simple diabetic-friendly recipe. Cook half a cup of quinoa and toss it with half a cup of steamed broccoli, a quarter cup of chickpeas, a drizzle of olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, and a sprinkle of ground flaxseed. This one-bowl meal offers about 14 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, and over 30% of your daily value for magnesium and potassium, all under 300 calories. It stabilizes post-meal glucose for hours, nourishes your gut, and supports both insulin signaling and circulation. Timing matters here too. The best time to eat plant-based meals is during the day, when your insulin sensitivity peaks, especially at lunch. However, including a small portion at dinner, like lentil soup or tofu salad, can prevent overnight glucose fluctuations. These foods digest slowly, keeping your blood sugar steady while you sleep. Helpful tip: if your fasting blood sugar tends to rise overnight, have a small bowl of warm lentil soup or a few cubes of tofu before bed. The slow-digesting protein and fiber help stabilize nighttime glucose and prevent the liver from releasing excess sugar while you sleep. This simple trick can lower morning blood sugar readings by up to 15%. One gentle reminder: while plant-based diets are powerful, balance is key. Overloading on refined carbs like white rice or processed vegan snacks can reverse the benefits. Focus on whole sources, legumes, seeds, whole grains, and minimally processed soy. If you're new to plant-based eating, introduce them gradually to allow your gut to adapt to the extra fiber. So now you know the power to control diabetes doesn't come from deprivation, it comes from direction. When you choose the right foods, your body starts to remember how to heal. The healthy fats of nut butters calm inflammation and balance hormones. The antioxidants in dry fruits protect your cells and improve energy. And the proteins and fibers from plant-based foods restore insulin sensitivity and repair your heart, nerves, and kidneys from within. Together, they form a natural healing triangle, working quietly with your body every single day to lower blood sugar, protect your heart, and reignite your metabolism. These aren't just foods, they're nature's medicine, disguised as everyday meals. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone living with diabetes, and subscribe to Diabetes Healthcare for more science-backed nutrition that heals, energizes, and protects your future. Because the road to reversing diabetes doesn't begin with fear, it begins with food.